we are living in really troublesome times. If it wasn't obvious, like if you've been living under a rock, welcome to planet Earth. So I'm not saying like humor is the best solution to this current like climate of the world. If anything, we need to start believing in miracles, basically. And like, this isn't going to be like a woo-woo, I'm going to like change your spiritual belief or condemn any religion or anything like that. It's that thing of, well, let's discuss what a miracle is. I think we have this preconceived notion that a miracle is something extravagant from popular culture, basically, and films and things like that. But really, miracles do exist, and like the proof, because we are a species. I think we're the only species on this planet that needs proof of something before we believe in it. You know, I think we're the only species to kind of question our existence, and it's such a bittersweet thing, because in questioning our existence, we kind of challenge the potential that we have as a species, the possibilities, the endless possibilities. So we live in that kind of thing of, oh, what's out there, and what's beyond this, and like, what can I become, and like, what this and what that, and why this and why that. That it's back to that dualistic principle again. With that questioning comes this sense of fear and unknown, and I think that's what's kind of feeding this kind of world energy at the minute. I said it wasn't going to get woo-woo. Yeah, I mean, like, energy is a proven thing. So like, if you don't believe in that, like, you need to go read like science books. There's your proof, you know? So yeah, we're the only species that needs proof before we believe in it. I don't know if animals have like this sense of belief. Like, I wish I was Dr. Dolittle, where I could kind of talk to the animals. I can feel energy. I don't know if other people are as heightened to what like I feel, and like, I can't say see, but yeah, it's that feeling of energy. Like, animals have it down. Like, they know how to interact with this world. They know the rhythms of nature. They just know. They don't need to question things. So we are the only species that questions our existence. And I actually think, like, in a lot of the old cultures, there's always this like concept of like an original sin, and it's that kind of thing that man became conscious and like questioning and self-aware. It's amazing in this reality, because it challenges like the potential of man and what man can accomplish, and like what the possibilities of like our species are and things like that. But again, dualistic principle, which is like the first principle of this reality and things. There's a duality within man, and I'll say the human race. You know, I don't want like anyone thinking I'm attacking genders. Like, I could care less what your gender is. Like, I care and I don't care. You know, whatever you identify as, I don't care. Like, in the best way possible. I don't believe in labels. I wish we'd done away with labels and things, but that falls into that thing of man needing to understand things. So how do we understand? We put labels on things. Nature doesn't put labels on things. This world isn't about labels. Like, an animal doesn't know that another animal is called a certain thing. They just know it's another animal. They go off feeling, they go off like instinct. And I think the problem with this species, our species, on this planet, is we're ignoring our instincts. And our instinct is to believe in magic and the endless possibilities. And for some reason or another, that kind of feeling, that kind of belief is held by what we perceive to be the elitists, the ones that rule this world. Oh, for you conspiracy people, like the lizard people, you know. But it's not exactly hidden from us, you know. It's not something that someone's taken and they're like, oh, that's it, I'm keeping it a secret. It's very like in our face, and it's down to personal like excavation almost. It's that thing of when you go within, when you start to kind of question things and start to feel you, like you as a person. I think we really do need to kind of get in our bodies and get in our heads Like, stop looking at the world. The world does not define you. You define the world through your perception, through your opinions, through your questioning. I think that is what we really need to start doing as people. And, you know, I don't know how many times I'll have to say it, if I have to make it a catchphrase and things. The change comes from us. We've got to start with us. If we want to see a change in the world, it's got to be us that change first. And it's our mindset, it's our thoughts, it's our beliefs, it's everything that comes from us. Because it's the majority of people that are feeling like suppressed and depressed and anxious, and yeah, the mindset of the world. Like, it's funny, like I don't believe in coincidences. I always believe like things unfold like exactly how they're supposed to, but we have free will. Like, events and things, they're always kind of just there. That's kind of like those like levels in a game almost, and it's down to you how you play that level to see what lesson you learn or what you achieve and things. That's my belief. Mindset is the set of like beliefs and thoughts that you have as an individual, but these are patterns, you know, and with patterns can change, patterns can be broken. And yeah, I think we're in like this collective mindset of like doom and gloom at the minute and uncertainty. And instead of getting excited by the possibility that things could change for the better, we're just like, oh, it's just going to get worse. Oh, look, look how bad it is now. It's always going to stay the same. And the thing to remember with this planet and nature, there's an ebb and flow to life. You know, the animals have got it. They run with the ebb and flow of life. It's just an instinctual thing. The fact that we're going against our instincts, we're trying to control things, we're trying to like predict how things will play out. That is why we're feeling so frustrated and annoyed and angry and just lacking of hope and things. That's why I think it's like, if anything, it's the perfect time to start believing in miracles. And if you've caught any of my previous videos, like I go into like, I've spoken about like the power of intent, and the power of intent. Forget like your woo-woo spiritual stuff. Yeah, I'm not a really spiritual person. Like I know that is just part of me, and it's helped me as a person because it's led to like this excavation of my own thoughts, my perception of the world, and like what works and what doesn't. Like, I have a high IQ. I scored high in like pattern recognizing. That was like one of the highest stats on my my aptitude test and things. So I can recognize patterns, and I think that's why it's so frustrating for me, because I can kind of figure out things very quickly, and I can see other people struggle with things. So I have impatience. You know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not an expert in anything. It's like, you know, if you're trying to measure me against like societal constraints and things, you know, it doesn't measure up. Like the things that I've done in life and like my thought processes and like the things I've gone through in life, I by like societal standards, I shouldn't even be like sat here talking to a YouTube channel. You know, I'd probably be like drugged up and like feeling sorry for my life and things like that. And I'm not, because I can recognize patterns. I can see what works and what doesn't. Regardless of all that, I'm not trying to prove a point. I don't have any points to make in life. You know, I don't have anything to prove. I'm just here, and I know I'm here, and if I can recognize problems and things, I think this is what we need to get back to as well, that problem solution factor. And this comes into play in business and everything in like how I perceive the world and how I analyze the world. It's all reflective. Like every single situation is reflective of something else, something greater, something smaller, you know. That's how I kind of operate, I guess. That's my MO. So yeah, for me, I can see that there's a problem in this world, and that problem is our thoughts. And our thoughts are not being controlled by us at the minute. Our thoughts are being controlled by the outside world. So yeah, it boils down to mindset. And our mindset is being affected majorly by every external factor you can think of, down to like what we wear, what the neighbors think of us, what our jobs do for us, like how much money we make, how much we spend on bills, what's happening in the world, the wars in the world, the plagues of the world, all that like external like noise. There's so much noise that we're not getting silent, and it's within those moments of silence that miracles are found. And that sounds so cheesy, but it's such a profound thing when you experience it. And a miracle is not like this thing of like £1 million or dollars or whatever currency like landing in your lap. A miracle is that change of a thought pattern that doesn't serve us. That is what a miracle is. Forget like all the ancient like books and films out there of like what hope should look like. Hope is within us. Hope is within that change of thought pattern. So how do we change a thought pattern? Because for some people it's not as easy. For me, I can change a thought pattern like that, you know. All it takes is like a little bit of silent excavation of my thoughts and like questioning, and then I kind of come to a conclusion. That's how I kind of process things. But everyone is individual. So yeah, so the thing to realize, I guess, is that every single person is unique. There's no particular way a person can just change their thought, you know. That you've got to learn like an exercise that works for you. Some people it's therapy, some people it's music, some people it's art, some people it's work. Whatever it is that helps you change a thought pattern, find out what that is. Like if you can make that your goal, like in life and things, like what is that thing that helps you change a negative thought pattern into something manageable? It doesn't have to be like, oh, the world's great, even like when there's like impending doom and gloom and things, you know. It's not that thing at all. That's denial. It's that thing of recognizing there's a problem and then understanding there's a solution. It's that problem solving mentality. It's understanding that yes, things aren't going right now, but how can you kind of navigate it so it does work for you? And then understanding that there is an ebb and flow of life, so things will be okay or great for like a period of time, and then they've got to change, because if there's no change, our life is pointless, you know. It's not. If anything, it's that thing of like challenging like the endless possibilities that are out there for us, and like learning our power. We have so much power as individuals, and we give our power away at every opportunity we are given for some reason. I think it's this learned behavior that we have as a species, you know. Not everyone does it, because those are the ones that have mastered their thoughts. They know how to kind of roll with the ebb and flow of life. I just like that phrase, ebb and flow. They know how to roll with the seasons. They know what to look out for. They know when there's a problem. They know how to try and find the solutions and things like that. Those are the ones that succeed at life, whether that's like monetary or like spirituality, and even down to like relationships and like how people interact with each other, you know. Those are the ones that have mastered that. So yeah, this video isn't like necessarily about spiritualism or anything like that. It's about our mindsets as people, you know. I'm 31. I still haven't mastered like my thoughts and like my patterns and things, but I'm only 31 at the same time, you know. I've got so much time, God willing, you know, to figure out things to kind of process. And there's actually a kind of like excitement like within that, like what can I learn now, you know. There's so many like endless possibilities like for myself, and I understand that if there's that kind of feeling and like knowing for myself, I'd like to share that with other people, you know. Like I'm no expert in any particular field. I'm just kind of like a try and learn. Like that's just me. It's annoying at times because I'm always like looking for new things to learn, and once I've learned something I kind of get bored of it, so I'm on to the next thing, and like that. It's all about like the experience. Like that is why we are here. We're here to experience every aspect and nuance of life, every single thing, from like the pain and like the glory and like down to like how to darn a sock. I don't know where that came from, but there you go. It's just interacting with the world. I don't think we do that enough. Instead, we're kind of interacting with this idea of a world. If I can recognize a problem, and this is what annoys me about like the environmentalist protesters at the minute, not all of them, some of them are doing good work, but the ones that are going and vandalizing property and just throwing paint at everything they see and things like that, that is not a solution to the problem at hand. If you want to make a change, you've got to change yourself, and how can you possibly expect other people to change when you're behaving with aggression? Yes, you're frustrated. I completely understand that thing that you're so frustrated and you can't see. You're trying to force people to see, but instead of forcing people to see, why not lead them? And everyone is aware of like the problems in the world, but the fact that there are so many problems on so many different levels, people are kind of getting to the point where they don't want to interact with it, you know. They're getting not desensitized to it, they can feel it. I know everyone feels this kind of energy, like whatever the word is, like deflation deflation in the face of inflation on everything, you know. I know for a fact people feel it because you can see it in people's eyes. If you ever look at someone, look at their eyes, you can see their soul, you can see what they're thinking and what they're feeling. I can anyway, like that's me. But it's that reflective thing, because if they're feeling that, you're feeling that. This is the thing. It is kind of that love of like the planet and like caring. But through acts of aggression or vandalism, a change is not going to be made. You're just going to be seen as a nuisance and your voice won't get heard because of the actions that you were taking. It's through actions. Actions speak louder than words. And I know this is like the point that people are trying to make. These particular protesters are trying to make. They're trying to grab attention. But then when they speak, the words aren't matching the actions, you know. They've just done like an aggressive act, and then they're talking about peace and climate change and things like that. The words need to start matching the actions, I think. I can see that the one solution that I can see is like we need to start believing in ourselves, and we need to start believing in our own power, and we need to start believing in the endless possibilities that are out there, the possibility that tomorrow we could all wake up and there is global peace, you know. Live in that state of hope. It's not denial, delusion, you know. Be aware of everything, but do not let it affect your mindset. The minute it starts affecting your mindset, that's the problem. And the solution is in these steps that we take, those rituals and practices that we take as individuals that work for us to change our thought pattern, you know. That's solution number one. If you want to start changing the world, you've got to start smaller. You know, you can't go out and just expect like 7 billion or 8 billion people. I don't even know how many people are on this planet. But you can't just go out and expect 8 billion people to listen to you. There's 8 billion other voices on this planet, you know. Yes, a few have like access to like bigger platforms and things like that, so maybe strive to be on those platforms. And how can you do that? But you do this in like business plans and things, you know. Focus on the end goal and then work through the steps back. So the miracle is realizing that when there's a problem, there's always a solution, you know. A problem isn't just like a problem and that's it. That's the end of the world, you know. There's a certain name for like a group of people that believe in like the apocalypse, like the impending apocalypse and things. Forget all that. You know, we've experienced so many apocalypses. apocalypse as a species and things, you know. I find it frustrating being a human. Like I don't like feeling things. And I think it's such like a dense species, like, but I am a part of it. I have to. I have no choice but to engage in this collective energy, and we're all in it. Like that's the thing, regardless of like sex, creed, race, social status, we are all in it. So we all have a hand to play in this energy. And if you really want to make a change, like externally, change within first, then start small, change your environment. You know, if you go to work and you're not interacting with people, if you're not asking how they are, if you're not kind of listening, do more listening than talking, even though I've completely rambled in this video, you know, but I believe like my words have a purpose. And that's probably like a slightly egotistical, self-serving belief. I'm offering my opinion. I live in that hope that other people will kind of resonate and then start to make the changes themselves, and then it will go on, you know. That's my hope for the world. I do have like this kind of peace on fellow human people. You know, I wish I could just give this feeling to other people. And I mean, a lot of things just make sense when you kind of get back into your feelings, and it's such a backward way of doing it, but it's our thoughts that control our feelings, and our feelings are what control reality. There is like no denying it, and we can't live in a state of denial any longer, you know. We're just going to self-destruct as a species. But like me knowing things, I know for a fact things will change. So yeah, believe that if you can. I don't know. Back to the Sunday spiritual rants, I guess. Time to start believing in miracles, and miracles start with changing our thought patterns. Don't lose hope. I mean, just if you do anything today, there's not much to do on a Sunday anyway. Like you could go shopping, but what meaning are you going to find in shopping? You know, take 5 minutes. Take 1 minute. If you can take any minute, just take a minute today where you tune out the world. Put your phone down. Stop scrolling on TikTok. I was going to call it something else then, and I thought, oh God. So sit down. I'm giving you permission to sit down. If you need permission to take time out for yourself, this is your permission, okay? Sit down, take a minute, focus on your breath. Start wondering, like, how is it possible your breath just continues without you even thinking? You know, that's part of nature. That's part of the human form, you know. That's a part of our brain that just we don't appreciate. There's a part of our brain that we're not appreciating. So there's other parts of our brain that we're not appreciating. Whatever you are finding stressful, if it's like news, if it's like your finances, I mean, that's a big thing at the minute. We're all focused on our finances, and we're not focused on like our health, like our spiritual, physical, mental health. Start to like listen to those thoughts that pop into your head. And how are they making you feel, you know? Are they making you feel like, yeah, like there is like possibility for change? Or are they making you feel like, this is reality, I've just got to accept it? Don't accept things. Accept things have happened, accept like the past and things, but never accept the future. You can't anyway. Like it doesn't exist. All you can ever receive in life are moments, and it's in those moments that life can just change. And that's what I mean, getting silent so you kind of listen to your thoughts, see how you can kind of change. I mean, not everyone will be able to do this, I understand that, but if you can't take a minute out of your day, then something is wrong and there is like a need for change to happen. So I'm done ranting now. I wish I could give people like my eyes, not necessarily my life and things, you know. I know I've lived my life because I can handle my life. That's kind of like that acceptance moment. You know, not everyone out there would be able to handle the things that I've gone through in life, like big events and like small events and things, you know. Take time out to appreciate yourself first as a person. Forget the world, forget like the material stuff. It's just stuff, you know. You won't be able to take that with you when you die. It means nothing, you know. It can be broken, it can be replaced. You can't as a person. I think the last thought is disengage to engage. That's my my last thought for this video. I have no idea what I'm going to call it. Is it time to start believing in miracles? Yeah. There's no time like the present. There is no time but the present. Let that sink in. It's like this sense of humour that I have. This is another form of me, like problem solving, I guess, recognising the problems. But I also know I have things of value to say, and with anything of value, it should be shared. You know, I believe in that thing of get to give. You don't give to get. Yeah, I think the more you have, the more you should share. That's kind of my thing. So yeah, I care so much for this world, and I mean, my heart breaks for this world. That's kind of why I do these videos, I guess. It's not just about like my creative expression. So I'm offering a solution. Whether or not it's the right solution is to be determined by some judge or jury, who knows. So after all that, if you found that helpful, do subscribe, guys, girls, non-binds. Don't know what that is, but yeah. Just drop a comment. It's all about connection. We need to start connecting within, and we need to start connecting without. I'm going to leave it at that because like my mouth is dry and I've just woken up from my nap, so I'm slightly like disorientated and things as well. And I'm going back to bed. That's it. Stay awesome, stay classy, be kind, and bye. And I think we're ignoring our instincts. That is what you people. Words fail me. And then understanding there is an and we're like, yes, this hiccup. that constant like experience, emotion, the solution. Because there's 8 billion other voices. Am I done with the rant? Is there more? Like I'm waiting for like the waves of like inspiration and just rambling. In control. Hopefully there's some sense in that. I dread the thought of like having to edit this video.